We're the liberal rednecks. We like cornbread butt sex. Actually, he'll probably put that in. He'll probably put that in after. So I probably didn't need to do that. This is the WellRED podcast. Trey usually starts it by saying, "Well, here we are, and there you are." DJ Lewis.
Dude, we look like the two most tired motherfuckers that's ever. We look straight up.
Yeah, it's pretty early. I woke up at 4:30 and couldn't go back to sleep. That's my only excuse.
That's
I
a
feel like
gnarly one, huh?
my son's a good excuse for at least 2 more years, but at least right now for me, in reality, not an actual legit excuse.
Right, it's just the panic, the absolute dread and torment of the fucking world, or is it just
Yeah,
old?
dude.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, it's everything. It's me. Let's start there. Let's start with our baseline. The bottom of the pyramid is Drew's personality. Let's put right on top of that, ate too late. I
yeah.
ate too late.
Ooh,
I'm gonna wake up if I eat too late.
yeah,
And then the next layer would probably be everything that's going on. And then the layer after that is my fucking doctor won't give me any goddamn benzos. Because the thing is, when you ask a doctor for benzos, I think there's like a rule maybe where they're like, well, he asked for them, he can't have them. Because I was like, hey man, I had my first panic attack in many years. My anxiety's through the roof. I got some flights coming up. I know how this sounds. Just give me 4. That's
yeah,
one for each flight. I got 2 flights coming up. He's like, how
yeah.
about Boost Bar? So I took one of those. Nope. It's like, what are we doing here? Anyway, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep, and then I look like this. What's your
Yeah.
excuse?
Well, Missy has laminitis, and like so there's a whole lot of getting up in the morning and stretching out her tendons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then they just got.
Actually, I guess let me do this. I think everyone listening knows who you are, but on the outside chance, Trey and Corey, they're very active in the world. I think we get new listeners from time to time.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
and I'm not, maybe I'm bringing in new listeners, but they probably know who you are. But anyway, DJ Lewis is an illustrious comedian, rapper, goat farmer, and all around great man.
oh thanks, man. Yeah,
And Nessie is a goat. It's funny because I imagine someone not knowing who you are, just being like, "Yeah, Nessie's got Lanitis. Got to get up and stretch every morning." And they're like, "Damn, he's got a wife named Nessie. That's kind of crazy."
yeah. Old Nessa, but she's got laminitis. So along with like the morning, just the regular morning chores of like feeding and like beating the fucking ice off everything. we uh we have to stretch her tendons out because it pulls her tendons back and then they can't walk, so they go lame, laminitis, they go lame. So it's like a whole thing, it's a whole therapy thing that and then we just set her out in the field and then she just goes, but it's a whole fucking thing, but we love her, so it's okay.
Um, I was listening, but I also already knew all that. That was
Okay.
for the audience, which is important. But if it feels like I zoned out, it's because I completely did. I started adjusting my lighting. I think part of the reason too that I look so tired is I got these big fucking shadows. Anyway, man, I hope
Yeah.
that I hope you stretch. You and that. So wait, is that what goat yoga is? It's
No,
not just a
no,
young
no,
white
no,
lady thing. It's trying to prevent them babies from going lame.
no, no, and
Oh,
actually, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like, I'm not with the goat yoga stuff. Like, you have to teach some sort of space, but with a goat, you know what I mean? Like, you have to because if they don't have that if, that space between them, if they don't have respect for you, they're gonna they'll end up beating the fuck out of everybody. You know what I'm
yeah. It
saying?
sounds
So
like
just let them
that's just
jump
an
on you and stuff like that,
experience.
huh?
Is this an experience-based opinion?
Yeah, dude, I got one out there and fucking whoop you to fucking death, and had a fucking UTI, right? So we had to wrestle this motherfucker down and like give it a shot, buddy. Motherfucking mad motherfucker, dude. But
I
you know,
like that you explained it out because I think if we just let our imaginations fill in the gap, it would be like, well, yeah, DJ's a farmer. He thinks ridiculous when people treat their animals that way, because animals are for farm work and or eating, and it's like, well, no, this goat lives inside and he'd be giving them shots and stuff. It's just he thinks that's bad practice in general. It's not on some papaw shit.
No, they're
Have you
great.
been on any papaw shit lately?
Have I been on any papaw shit?
Yeah.
Just getting up the soil amended and just like doing Gary shit. You know what I'm saying? Being full throttle Gary. The ground's real fucking wild right now up here, and so there's like a top layer of frozen, and then there's a bottom layer of like absolute mush, and that's
Yeah.
just I don't know. But we got our seeds coming in, so we got a few more beds put in, so pretty excited about it.
Well, you better wait to put them beds in, son. You're about to get a winter
I
storm
know we
right up
about to
your
get it.
booty hole.
I know we about to get it.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Also, I guess I should have said this. I mean, people have figured half of this out at this point. Trey and Corey are both on vacation. I think Corey might be back or was supposed to be back, but is under the weather. So maybe send him a little message. They asked me to take care of it this week. I thought about doing it just alone because, I didn't want to bother nobody. And then, dude, it's so funny. We were talking about the anxiety and all that earlier. I just kind of thought about what would happen if I talked to myself for an hour. And I was like, let me ask somebody to do this with me. And obviously, you and I talk frequently. We have a podcast called Gravy Baby with our good friend Carmen Morales, the very funny Carmen Morales, who's also joined me on this show before when the boys were in Scotland. Check out Gravy Baby. We got a lot of stuff I'm sure we'll get into later about that. But yeah, we're about to get winter stormed right into the booty hole. Are you preparing for that as a man living on a farm with animals who live outside?
Oh hell yeah, dude, man, they're straight as hell. I mean, as far as the goats go, they're set up for that type of stuff, and their beds and their houses and their shelters are like straw and are warm as hell. So like the wind doesn't get in them. It's really the wind that gets them because they get pneumonia real easy. So it's like, yeah, yep. But they've got deep straw beds and wonderful doors and shelters and minerals. They're straight.
Yeah, I think we've talked before on here. I live on like a half farm, meaning that my in-laws are retired, grew up in Appalachia, and have a little bit of money. And I don't mean that in like a disparaging way. It's just like it's not a real farm,
Mm-hmm.
but like there's animals that will die if I don't go. And if
Right.
and if they do die, it won't affect anyone's life at all. I
Yeah.
guess that's why I'm saying it's not like for sustenance or anything like that. It's no one's job. But yeah, we're being prepared to be fucked in the booty hole too. And I've got this balance. This is an interesting existential thing too. Father-in-law is he's on the tail end of it. I don't want to like throw any bad juju in the world. I think he's got some years left, but not 30. We'll say that.
Yeah.
There's this thing with men, and I'm sure there's a woman version of it too, but it's especially true of boomers, people my dad's age. On the one hand, I see him like putting wood in the boiler at 10 o'clock at night at 9-degree weather. And I'm like, why am I letting him do this? On the other hand, I'm like, well, if I start doing everything for him, he's retired. Like, I'm not like, it's like, I'm not saying this is what it is to be a man, but like, it's what it is to be Jim,
Yeah.
is to take care of shit.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to figure out, like, all right, I'm kind of here to help take care of him. But part of that feels like letting him do some stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But then it's also real convenient because it's 9 degrees. I ain't trying to go outside. I'm like, look, Andy, your dad is the kind of man who needs autonomy.
Yeah.
It just so happens that I get to stay inside when I argue that.
Yeah. Well, also, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Like this morning, you go out, you check on everybody, you get their fucking. Well, we have like some heated water buckets, but like if they don't have to leave the shelters, we don't want them to. But the water inside there, dude, and they pee and stuff, so you gotta like, pull all that stuff out. You don't want them just because it stays 9 degrees until like 10. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
like you got to pull all that stuff out of there and stuff, and it's like I d- I've got to the point where like I don't know what I would do if I wasn't doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like
It's part of your routine now.
right. So like I don't know if he would know what would he do if he wasn't doing that.
I mean, from what I can tell, scroll on his phone and
Does he got the boomer scroll?
oh yeah, and we're talking
They
about.
got it, man. Okay, they
I think
got
I
they
woke
all
my
got it.
I think I woke my mother-in-law up. Well, I
Oh,
didn't.
no.
We had to have the dog inside because it's so cold, and I think the dog woke her up because I woke the dog up.
We
Um,
have our outside dogs, dude. This some bitch, the Anatolian Shepherd,
yeah.
like she just just doesn't give a fuck. Never even goes inside. Just fucking lays out there and barks at every fucking noise that's out there.
I don't know what breed that is. It's not one that's familiar to me. I'm going to go back to my spot in a minute. I'm closing the door. People
Ah,
watching on YouTube, I'm sorry that you're getting this tour of my house.
what kind of books you got there? Let's read some.
Well, I said my house. I'm actually at my in-laws.
Oh, all right.
Um, yeah, he's definitely got the boomer scroll. Oh yeah, and that dog you got. I've seen that dog. That dog's got a coat. That dog don't want to be inside.
No, not at all.
Yeah, well that's Jim. Jim's an outside dog. And when you let an outside dog inside, well, they don't get up to good. I'll tell you that. It's straight Fox News and the worst memes you've ever seen. Right.
Yeah.
Frontal cortex, brother.
I've been trying to tell the boomers all the time, man. You got to protect that amygdala, bud. You got to protect the cortex, man.
Well,
You
an
can't
old
be getting
bit.
fired up 20,000 times a day. That's not good for your blood pressure at all. Your
Exactly,
brain.
dude. An old bit from our podcast, Gravy Baby, with Carmen Morales, available now wherever you want to get it. An old bit from that, or maybe from the one before it. Papaws need to be at Hardee's. That is a conclusion you and I came to
Yes.
a long time. They should be. By the way, he does that too. He goes with his war buddies. That's what he
Yeah.
calls them. That's his word. No, maybe he says army. Maybe I changed it to war. But they go have breakfast at a diner, and it's like, yeah, that's where y'all are supposed to be. Because if you say all that wild shit there, and then Dale goes, damn, and then he goes back home, and then he forgets about it because he's got his
Yeah.
own wood boiler to deal with. But
Yes.
instead, you say
Yeah.
that shit there, Dale goes back home, and then Dale's like, damn, I got to talk to somebody else about this. Let me get on this phone with the letters 19 sizes too big. My dad started watching his videos without headphones. I don't know when he stopped. So now I'm just home, and my dad will just be scrolling, and I'll hear like, do you know who Derek Stroop is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Derek Stroop's
Yeah.
a very funny comedian in the Nate Bargatze world, but I'll hear my dad like watching his videos and laughing, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I did that same joke 3 years ago, Dad, but I guess you didn't catch that version of it." Real thing that happened to me. I often believe I live in a matrix that was designed to torment me. But yeah, I'm trying to let him be him, but it
Sure.
is odd. You were talking about, like what would I do? What else would I do? I mean, what would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah, like God forbid, I don't want to put the bad juju on you, but like you had to move, like, and then farming wasn't like a possibility. What would you do?
I'd get up to some kind of scheme. Dog, I'd be scheming and dreaming, dog.
Oh
Shark
man, I
busting,
love
shark busting.
schemes, dude.
Yeah, shark busting. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying,
it's
dude?
prime time. I've been saying that. Trey let me go
Yeah.
on Fuse. They turn. I'm telling you, dude. They turned WellRED podcast over to me solely. If you guys haven't watched Evening Skews this week, Trey's news show, they let me host, and I don't think I'm coming back. His producer, who's a good friend of mine, and who is having me and you on later to talk about
Yeah,
short
right.
notes, which we'll get into in a minute, a little bit. So like, he's not mad at me. He's having me on his little auxiliary thing, but he was like, "Yeah, I got to cut some of that." Mark was like, the FBI is going to come to your door. I was like, dog, please let them. This FBI? Imagine you wake up, you just see Cash Patel's eyes all the way up against your glass. Motherfucker not blinking. Yeah, it's crime time. I've been saying it to everybody. And
Yeah,
I guess
man,
to
for
flesh
sure.
that out a little bit, guys, they're making, in Minnesota, like, people are trying to, like, help families who've gone underground. I mean, that's what's
Yep.
happening. Families
Yeah.
have gone underground in Minnesota to, you know, hide from ICE, and other people are doing their laundry or making them food, and ICE is trying to make that illegal. And so, like, my thing is like, look, if they're making helping your neighbors illegal,
Mm,
then you're already doing crime. If you're doing the right thing, you
right.
might as well throw some more crime in there. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I do know what you mean exactly. I'm picking up what you're putting down, bud.
It's not a great analogy, but I can't help but think about, like, you know how, like, when you're at the bar and you've gone a little too far, like, you're like, oh, I got work the next day, I can only have one or two, and then you have four. You've already fucked work up. Why
Mm.
would you not stay for the band? It's like that. Only this time you didn't fuck work up. Someone else did.
Yeah,
Stay for
that's
the
a great
band.
analogy.
Stay for the band.
Stay for the band.
If you're already doing the right thing, and you should be, then you are going to be made illegal. That's first. It was these people were illegal. Remember when they were calling them illegals? Now you're an illegal. If you're just being a good person, you might as well stay for the band. And by that I mean credit card fraud or whatever you like.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Fucking like once they make like doing the right thing illegal, and like you're getting pardoned for doing the wrong thing. Like what are you
What are we doing?
what are we doing?
What are we doing? But they'd be like,
What are you trying to follow
"Oh,
the rules?"
stealing's wrong." It's like, yeah, from my
Yeah,
neighbor.
yeah, dude.
There's like Ludacris had hoes in different area codes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm allowed to do crime outside of mine.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know
dude.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. It's righteous. It's righteous. Feel for, just don't think there's any rules anymore, which is wild. Have you been watching Davos? Any of the
Buddy,
Davos stuff?
I Davos is genuinely pure evil.
Yeah, which is wild. Which I mean, I agree totally. I think Davos is done. I think pretty much in like a couple years it'll be like they're gonna funnel all this stuff out into Qatar. I mean, they pretty much already said as much. Like they'll be having it in Abu Dhabi or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Can you tell people who don't know what it is what it is?
at the World Economic Forum, it's where all the like the leaders of the world meet and talk about economics and discuss, and they have panels. Dude, there's this panel with fucking Larry Fink and dude, he's just such a ghoul, man. And
Yeah,
like this
let's push this
historian.
out a little bit. One way, if you don't want to like pause and research Davos real quick, I bet everyone listening, if they're online at all, which how else would they know about the WellRED podcast, remembers a viral clip from like 3-4 years ago. A guy, I can't remember his first name. I think his last name is Bergstrom. He's an economist, a Dutch guy. He's got a funny voice and a little kind of half Dutch accent. And he went viral at Davos. The clip, it's like focused on him, and he goes, we're talking about all these ways in which to help people with NGOs, nonprofit, taxes. Why aren't we talking about taxes?
Yeah,
And he goes on this, I wouldn't even call it a rant. This just like explanation of how we used to tax rich people. Now we don't. And then we're like, where's all the money? Why can't we help people? And we're at this World Economic Forum, and we're not allowed to say that. And the reason we're not allowed to say that is every one of you in here. This was like the implication of what he was saying. He kind of said it, but he didn't go this far. But he's like, the reason we're not allowed to say it is every one of you in here is sponsored by these rich people.
yeah,
So
right.
they're bringing you here to offer any solution other than taking their money.
Yeah.
And he was never invited back. Anyway, I think a lot of you probably saw that clip. But it has changed. I feel like it used to be the sort of almost typical liberal facade.
Yeah.
Like, we're not allowed to talk about taxes, but we are here to talk about how we can funnel nonprofit money into AIDS research or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
And now it's Go ahead with the Larry Fink. Larry Fink, by the way, is the founder of Planeteer. I get all my
BlackRock.
BlackRock. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he's a BlackRock CEO. So like, yeah, no, he's just basically he's like trying to argue against a historian. He's trying to argue against why the $38 trillion debt that USN is like fatal. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's like, it's a good thing.
Like it just doesn't matter. He can give a fuck less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Can I ask a
He's like,
dumb question?
yeah,
Who are we in debt to? 38 trillion is owed to whom?
to everybody. We owe
Okay.
everybody.
Is
We owe.
there? I've
We're a
always heard
debtor.
China.
We're a
Is that?
debtor nation. We're a debtor nation.
I know that. I'm aware of how that works to some
China,
extent.
China.
I've heard China. Is China at the top of the list?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah, dude. We be buying stuff all the time.
I,
We be printing money.
okay, let me say this then. I can't believe that I'm devil's advocating on Larry Fink. If you're Larry Fink, I get his point in terms of like, well, yeah, we just ain't. We're going to war with him anyway. Why the fuck
Yeah,
would we
well,
send
yeah,
him a
yeah.
check?
No, of course. He doesn't
Like,
give a fuck.
we're gonna
He was
send him a
also the guy.
check.
Yeah.
We gonna
He
attach
was
it to the bomb?
yeah. He was also the guy who famously said, "It doesn't matter who you vote for." He was like, "It doesn't." He's like, everybody's like, "This is everybody's freaking out about this is going to be the." It's like, nah, rich people are going to be fine. When you was talking to rich people, you know what I'm saying? He
Yeah, I
was talking
wonder.
about
I
the
wonder if when that
billionaires.
video got out, if any of his comrades in his class were like, "Hey, bro, you ain't supposed to tell him that."
Yeah. Well, they're just saying it now. I mean, the guy from Canada, he was basically up there. Mark Carney, he was
Yeah,
basically up there. Him and Macron both, and like a lot of people were like, "Hey, man, we're investing in China," and like the neoliberal fucking rules based order. That was always a lie. He's like basically just saying like it was always a lie. It's time to take the sign down. We're not fucking pretending like it's fucking like we're doing this anymore. We knew it was bullshit the whole time, and now
it's
we're gonna
so
invest in
funny
China.
watching people share that
Yeah,
those
I know.
clips of Carney, and I'm sure there are people on here who've seen some of the clips of Carney and they like it because he's kind of shitting on Trump. But if you watch the whole thing, he's kind of like saying like, hey, this dude's like really what he's saying is, man, Trump's bad because he's fucking up the game we got going.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
exactly
fellow
it.
Richies, don't you see how he's dragging us into war and we won't be able to exploit people if we allow him to do that? It's like watching poor people share that has
Yeah,
been funny to me. I get it to a certain extent. Like to a certain extent, I would much rather feel tired at the end of the week because I didn't get paid the appropriate amount for my 40 hours when I really worked 50 than I would get nuked. Like I do
yeah,
understand that.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
classic America.
The classic America, dude.
Well,
Classic.
classic the West, I should say. I mean, that guy's Canadian.
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, no, no. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Well, man, we got into it pretty quickly with Davos. I really thought we might save that, but here we are.
yeah. We're here. Well, it's been interesting watching everybody because it's like TPUSA, dude. It's like that's how all our entire the entire West, like China will go up there and talk, and they'll talk about the investments that they're gonna make, like this, like totally, while everybody else has this weird, dramatic, like confrontational fucking speech against, not to the point where TPUSA was that last thing that they had, where Eric and Kirk and Ben Shapiro came
Yeah,
out
yeah,
was like,
yeah. Like you're
yeah,
jokingly comparing Davos to TPSU because your point is it's clearly for the soundbite. Like, sure,
yeah,
they don't do the WWE flashbang pyrotechnics,
yeah, well, yeah.
but
At the
they
end of the
are doing theater.
yeah, oh, yeah,
And there is something gut wrenchingly dark about that.
yeah, yeah, dark, yeah.
Yeah, man, what a world. I've been calling it, and I think I've talked about this on here on WellRED before. It's the WWEification of our culture.
Mhm.
I want someone else to do. I want to read a thesis on how Eric Bischoff changed America for the worse accidentally. Eric Bischoff is not solely but mostly responsible for the comeback of wrestling in America, and he wrote a book about his policy in terms of how they would do their storylines, and it was controversy equals cash. He figured out. He didn't figure out. I think a lot of people knew this in the wrestling business, but he figured out how to like make it a policy where like, hey, all we need is people talking about us.
Right.
Hate is like, why are we afraid as wrestling that the news media is shit talking us? Who
Right.
cares as long as they're talking about us? Well,
Right.
if you expand that into the algorithm, it doesn't explain, but it is like part of the structure of Trump. It's part of the structure of like the Rogan verse. It's part of the structure
Yeah.
of so many things where it's like, hey, as long as they're talking about you, and it's an old thing, right? Like, what's the PR thing? No PR is bad PR. It's that to the max. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Um, yeah, I mean, fuck, dude. Look, I mean, dude, when you watch all this stuff happen, you watch about like fucking Trump obviously doesn't give a fuck about Europe, dude. He doesn't give a fuck about
No.
anybody, really, dude. I mean, obviously they're saying that, but like it's it's wild that they will be that they would make these kind of proclamations against United. They're gonna give up Greenland. What else are they gonna fucking do? Like, what else are you gonna do? You're gonna
I
have to
would
give it
say
up.
make a deal. I mean, all Trump wants to do is walk away this as quote unquote a winner.
Yeah, right. No, I know. So you're gonna make a deal, right? Exactly.
Right.
You're gonna make a deal. If you're smart, you fucking make a deal. You'd say, hey, listen, we need security guarantees for Ukraine or something like that. But instead, he's sending Witkoff and fucking Kushner out to fucking Russia to make fucking real estate fucking deals on fucking land. It's fucking crazy. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, what the fuck is going on? What a tragedy. Oh my God, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Well, one thing it's laid bare for me, there's that, and if you're on the internet, infamous drill tweet. In spite of what I said earlier, I was wrong. You do not, in fact, ever have to hand it to ISIS. Um, and that's satire, everybody. At no point, if you don't know who that is, he did not hand anything to ISIS. He was making fun of how people tweet. And that's like something you would see. Well, I'm saying that in the context of this. I think I've been giving it to the Republican Party. I've been handing it to them for many years on their sort of like, not consistency, because anyone who's followed them knows that that's not what they do, but there is a sort of circle the wagons type thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, going back to the Tea Party, like, hey, if you're not useful to them, they'll throw you away. But it does seem like with Trump, I mean, dude, was it France that leaked info to him, like him and 3 other people, and it got to Russia the next
I'm,
day?
I'm sure.
It does seem like they have completely thrown out, and again, I don't want to imply that they have like morals or standards or a backbone. They have goals.
Yeah.
The GOP seem to have goals. I found them to be very evil, and then they would use people for those goals. It seems like with Trump, they're willing to change their goals, and that's genuinely has shocked me. I'm almost ashamed of my shock, though.
Yeah. Well, it's surprising. It's just it is shocking. It is shocking to know. I mean, that's the whole thing about all this stuff is like it is it's well, dude. Speaking of shocking and ISIS, fucking goddamn, fuck Joe Al Sharar or whatever who's in the new guy in Syria. He's just like let out what like 30,000 ISIS fighters out of the prison. They just opened it out of the prison.
Yeah, man. I mean, you knew that was coming on, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
on
for
some
sure,
level.
dude.
I wonder. Let's
Which is
maybe after this
wild. Also,
break, we'll get into how exactly that guy became the new guy in Syria. That might be an interesting conversation for us to have.
when that
Folks, our podcast today is sponsored by Squarespace. And we
Squarespace.
appreciate the heck out of Squarespace. Let me start over. Corey, you can cut
Yep.
that. Folks, our podcast today is sponsored by Squarespace. And we appreciate the heck out of Squarespace, both as a sponsor and as a tool that I utilize all the time. What are you talking about, Drew? I'm talking about I have a website. and I use Squarespace to put it out there into the world. If you've ever gone to my website and bought tickets, looked for tickets, seen videos of me, guess what? I'm not a genius. I don't know how to do web stuff. The only reason that worked for me, Squarespace. Why do I like to use it? It's easy. What makes it easy to use? Well, basically the interface is like, you want a video? You want to move it? Just do this, drag it over here. And for those of you who've never published a website, a few years ago, that kind of thing was impossible and you had to be able to write code. But now, Squarespace is making it easier. They give you everything you need and they offer services to get you paid also all in one place. You can do consultations, events, which is what I do, and experiences. You can showcase your offerings with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business. So if you're selling stuff, they make it easier to figure out how to do that. You can get paid on time. Yeah, you can use professional on-brand invoices and online payments through their system. I cannot tell you how helpful that is. So you can streamline your workflow with built-in appointment scheduling or email marketing tools. It doesn't matter what you're selling, what you're promoting. Squarespace has a way for you to do it easily. They have SEO tools.
They don't support
ISIS. If you got online courses, or like me, you want to put one video up for free, but one you got to pay for it, you can do all that. So if you're going to make smarter business decisions this year, you should do it right now with Squarespace with an intuitive built-in analytics tools for your website. You can go right now to squarespace.com/wellred, that's WELLRED, for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code WellRED, WELLRED, all caps, and you'll save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. You can buy the website through them. Then you can publish it through them. So let's check out squarespace.com/wellred for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code WellRed to save 10% on the first purchase of your website domain. Let me reiterate that. So if it's not clear what I'm saying, you get the service on a free trial of Squarespace, but they'll also give you 10% off on helping you purchase a domain if you haven't bought one yet. That's a great deal. Squarespace is awesome, and we thank them for sponsoring the pod.
Yeah.
The illustrious DJ Lewis, we are back. First of all, thank you again for being with us. It's funny, we cut a break and I was like, we'll get back to that in a minute. And now my brain's back ready to get back into it. And yeah, are we going to talk about Syria? I mean, let's do it. And then let's maybe go on to some more lighthearted things.
Dude, if I was going to talk about Syria, I would say like this, man. I would say this, and this is Syria, after years and years and years of sanctions, right? Which works, right? I mean, you look at Venezuela. I mean, this is like old, but crippling sanctions, internal wars, and then trusting fucking Russia. Why do these people trust Russia? Right, and it comes out, which we know that. What?
Well, what's their options?
Just building your own air defenses, dude. It's like they have like had their, which I'm not a Saudist.
I want everyone to imagine DJ yelling at a 20-year-old young man who can't stop banging red flags, who drain him of his bank account and his emotional fortitude, and DJ going, just jack off.
Yeah.
Just jack off.
Just do it.
You don't have to bang them.
Yeah.
I don't. Go ahead, though. Sorry.
Dude, Yemen did it. Yemen fucking, look at them, dude. Undefeatable. Fucking listen. Say what you want to about the Houthis, right? Motherfuckers don't give a fuck. All their stuff is fucking indigenous, man. They'll fuck you up. They gonna fuck you up. Everybody know they gonna fuck you up. Or they gonna fight. Like, you telling me Syria couldn't do that? No, instead they got these air defenses by fucking Russia, and Russia like put the cop in there like, yeah, you can fight ISIS with these, but you can't fight anybody else for them. And then they shut them down and just got them to fuck up. And not to mention the fact, if you're under sanctions like that, right, and you're in the army or whatever, getting paid like, a can of beans a week, fucking, you know what I'm saying, dude? Somebody gonna come around and be like, hey, yo, we're gonna run these HTS people up through here and these ISIS, and you just, whatever, you can go fuck off, whatever, join, who cares?
Yeah, I have to assume they thought they could, the equivalent of jailbreak their missiles. And that's funny to think about. Some dude who's like jailbreaking iPhones over in Syria, they got him in there like, can you do it to the missile? And he's like, nah, man, it's all in Russian.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Well, that's how it is with us, dude. Like people use our air defenses and stuff. We don't give them like in Ukraine, like it's we give them the coordinates and all the stuff for it. You know what I'm saying? Like we do that. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
our air
We have to be able to control where it's going to blow up.
exactly,
It's
especially
kind of
because you
like
don't
that,
want to.
like John Deere, the farmers, where it's like you no longer buy the tractor. You're just
Bro,
licensing it. We're out here
oh yeah,
licensing
right to repair.
rockets.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, you
That's
got to
exactly
build
what.
your own.
Yep.
Hey, you heard it here first, folks. Build your own rockets.
Build your own rocket, build your own tater gun. Just use a tater gun. If you don't think a tater gun take out a drone, buddy, have I got news for you?
That came up recently on here where Trey was talking about how excited he would be. And of course, we talked about you. I'm trying to remember what it was, how excited he would be for any sort of, how much he would support any tater gun resilience. He was basically getting at, like, if I saw a tater gun, I'd have to know a lot before I decided I wasn't on that person's team. Like outside of them putting a
Yeah.
swastika on the tater, maybe that's not what he was saying. That's how maybe I said that. But like outside of putting a swastika on the tater gun, I am assuming it's kind of like you're presumed innocent until proven guilty, until you're proven Nazi, until you're proven fuckhead, until you're proven ice. If you got a tater gun, I am with you.
Dude, you could get like a t-shirt cannon and just fill it with a bag full of taters. Like a buckshot fucking russet fucking dude,
I'm glad you
I'll
brought that
fucking
up because I've
roll
been
up.
wanting to say yet another example of them taking our culture and then gussying it up and then acting like we're dumb rednecks and they're geniuses. A t-shirt cannon, what's that if not a tater gun for the Connecticut housewife?
Exactly, dude. Put a whole bag of russets in that motherfucker, buckshot at some dude. Can you imagine?
Got me a whole bag of russets, dude.
Oh, buddy.
We're just me and hillbillies. We're just better than everybody. I'm sorry.
Dude, yeah, number one, killing
I
it.
bet there's some
Every
Midwesterners out there right now. Like, you think you invented the tater gun, you pieces of shit? Y'all just were the idiots, dumb enough to blow yourselves up on tape and made it famous. But
yeah,
taters, where'd that come from? Idaho.
right.
Some shoresy talking northerner. Sounds like he's from Canada.
Yeah.
Sorry, but we invented the potato gun in 18. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, dude.
I
So
got me
are we gonna
worked up over tater guns. I was excited. Now I'm mad.
dude, it's gonna be wild. Who secedes first? Will it be Minnesota or will it be Alberta? You know what I'm saying? Like which like
If Gavin Newsom loses the election, it'll be California. Or were my two choices just those two?
or like what does California secede to? The ocean? Like
Themselves.
get
The
the
seventh,
fuck out of
they
here. What
are,
are they gonna do?
though they're alone the seventh biggest economy in the world.
Not I mean, okay, well if Hollywood dies, right, and fucking all the tech people leave, what happened?
Why would either of those things, because they succeed, you mean? Like then people
Yeah,
would dip?
yeah, yeah.
Why would they? Gavin Newsom offers both of them. Everything's free. You don't have to have unions anymore.
Okay. Yeah, you're making a good point. All right,
You need
check.
slaves?
You
Great.
got it.
I've been wanting to get
Yeah,
rid of the
you're right.
homeless.
You're right. You're right. Oh, you're right. Ah, you're right. Dude, get oh God.
Yeah. Do you think Trump will die during his fourth term? We're having a good time, folks. Here's the WellRED podcast. It's funny because when Trey started doing skews, part of the conceit was not even conceit. This is what we all wanted, was to like do less politics on WellRED.
Mhm.
And this is just a coincidence, but like basically as soon as that was like kind of post-pandemic-y, it was just like everything was doomy and gloomy. And then things felt like they were going to normalize. And it was like, yeah, and then basically we said that Trump made a comeback, Gaza started happening. You're talking tail end of like burning cop cars, and it was just funny how like we were like, you know what? Let's step away from politics right now. Doesn't seem to be that important. You know what really matters is sourdough bread. Um, but
Well, it's
yeah,
got its place. It's got its place. Um,
Yeah, man. My
so
belly.
can I pivot real fast?
Please do.
Okay, there's a new documentary. There's a new Mothman documentary out now. Now, let me for people who don't know that I'm a Mothman truther. And listen, my original, and I want to explain this. My original argument against Mothman wasn't against Mothman. It was just that the Flatwoods monster is a better cryptid. It's a better cryptid. I always thought that the Mothman story was kind of lame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and this is a theory, not that is mine alone. This comes from a lot of people who do research and stuff like this. So the theory is that Mothman was basically a psyop that was created in collaboration between Union Carbide, the factory, and the CIA. And so basically, what happened? Listen, what you will find in John Keel's the Mothman Diaries is that the people were have one of the visions that the people of Point Pleasant were having were these dreams of the factory burning down, the Union Carbide factory. Well, they had all gone on strike, right? This is a whole separate thing that like it's kind of mentioned in passing. You can kind of get if you go into other writings about the time in Point Pleasant that this thing was like going on. Union Carbide, by the way, was uh was making like drones before drones were drone, aerial stuff, gases, weapons. During the Vietnam War. It was like there was a war shit. You know what I'm saying? Aviation
Okay.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget, there was a lot of like World War II depots with explosives and stuff. So it had always been kind of a hub for that type of activity, right? For so
That's in Virginia too, right?
it's not just in Virginia, bud. And here's a big thing. It is right on the corner of Kentucky and Ohio,
Yeah.
right? Like, okay, so check it
Yeah.
out.
All right. Can I just catch people up a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think everyone's aware of the Mothman. Like, there's a Richard Gere movie, for fuck's sake.
It's gonna
Mothman is an American cryptid myth, whatever you want to call it. It's not quite as popular or famous as Bigfoot. I think most people know that. There's a lot of conspiracies around it for various reasons, but one of them, as DJ's laying out, is it had everyone who first started hallucinating it or whatever you want to call it, experiencing it, had these visions of the carbide factory burning down, and it turns out that that particular company is sort of proven to be on, like, however you feel about conspiracy theories, it's pretty open that they've been on some war shit and some government shit. Go
and
ahead.
they're evil. They're like responsible for one of the biggest like workplace disasters in history, dude. Like look at the Wikipedia. It's fucking terrible, dude. It's terrible. It's awful. It's totally awful. So I think on top of like all the MK Ultra shit that was going on, you know what I'm saying, and this and what it was going to 1961, right, dude? Here we go. So they have this little place that's up there, and they're able to, while these workers are on strikes, not just only distract the people there of the town of the Point Pleasant, the workers distract them, but also discredit them from the growing labor movement that was anti-war labor movement that was going on. Do you know what I'm saying? So you don't have because dude, they were already scared of the South unionizing. Do you know what I'm saying? Blair Mountain, all this shit. So they was already scared of them getting the woke mind virus and picking up arms and shit. So like, if this had of like come in, like it just makes sense that they would create the psychological operation in this town and in this area, dude. And it's crazy because you'll find these little hints of stuff within this whole mythos. Like Indrid Cold was the smiling man who met this which was part of the whole Mothman Point Pleasant mythos, right? So he's from outer space, and he met this one guy. I can forget his name, but he meets him, and he meets these guys from I'm from outer space, and I'm going to take you to outer space and all that. So they describe this guy as being a salesman, right? Not Injured Cold, but the man who meets Injured Cold. They describe him as a salesman. The only reason he was a salesman is because that was the work he was doing while he was on strike. It's the same thing with Betty and Barney Hill. If you look this up, it was a famous abduction case. They were a mixed couple. Barney Hill was massively involved in the NAACP and this whole civil rights activism. So then they just happened to get picked up by a UFO one day, totally discredited. You know what I'm saying? Now you're a kooky loon. You're a kooky loon. This shit you're talking about, you know what I'm saying? They were doing this shit. Okay. In conjunction with all
Let's tell people who they are real quick. I think people have figured it out, but just in case.
who that? The aliens? Is the
Who did
CIA?
this?
Well,
Yeah,
it's also
yeah.
Union Carbide, huh?
Thank you. The CIA. Thank you.
Yes, it's the CIA and Union Carbide together using weapons that they probably were making, and they're testing stuff, like doing stuff that
And that couple, by the way, what you're talking about comes directly. The evidence of that comes directly from released files.
Yeah, you can listen to them talking to the psychologist, go put them in the hypnotized.
Yeah, I mean, I've
And then
seen that. I've
yeah,
read that, and I love when people. I know that some of this stuff can get pretty out there, but I love when people are like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "I know." I also think it's crazy and wish it wasn't true, but like
totally true.
there are documents that the CIA literally did this.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, dude, yeah, and then
But hey, now they're cool, right, guys?
yeah,
But
now they're
like
good.
everyone's like, okay, well they did that in the '60s. It's like, yeah, Trump CIA though, they would never get up to some fuck shit. Anyway, get back to the carbide, Union Carbide.
Okay, Union. Well, yeah, that was a factory that was on that people were striking from. They just didn't want these people to join the anti-labor movement. Okay, so all that's going on. Then you have these men in black, right? And this was the craziest thing. Like people were saying, like, oh, these men in black were coming in. These faceless people were coming on, and they were intimidating if you were asking any question. John Keel, the author of the Mothman prophecies. If anybody's read that book,
More
the
like Mothman scophacies. All right.
he completely fucking spirals out into this paranoia shit, man. And it's like it's really interesting to see like what I believe is the whole Men in Black and this whole like this strangeness that is occurring there is mafia related. I've always
Now we
thought
got
that.
the mafia in it.
Yeah, because the mafia was already involved in like anti-union actions and
Sure, but they were brutal.
so they're brutal. They're tied into the feds, the CIA. I mean, they
My
were
shock
integrated.
is that how the mafia was involved in something so oppy instead of just beat everybody up.
Well, that was intimidation. That's what they were doing. They were coming in and telling everybody, "Yeah, you didn't see nothing. You don't know nothing. What the fuck you
Right, right,
talking
right,
about?"
right, right.
And then the people would go and they say, "Yes, we were visited by these guys. They were dressed in these suits and these hats, but I didn't see their face. Yeah, their face kind of weird. I don't know."
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What do he look
Okay,
like? Couldn't tell you.
couldn't tell you. He's weird and he was mean, but
A little
we're,
blurry.
yeah, we're just glad everybody's having fun. Okay, fast forward to now, this new documentary, right? The guy that made Earthworm Jim. Do you remember Earthworm Jim?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I can't believe Earthworm Jim's not Earthworm Jim. Not EJ. EWJ?
It's so fucking wild. It's so fucking wild, dude. So he's gonna make a movie, right?
Okay.
He's gonna make a movie about Mothman. They go up to Point Pleasant. This is like in the '90s, right? All this fucking crazy shit starts happening, right? All this like wow, people are following, people are mad because they're walking around with cameras. They don't know what's going on. Some of the cameras come up missing. all this stuff is going, and I don't want to ruin the I don't want to ruin it for anybody that wants to go out there. It's called Mothman, the movie that was never made. But what I can tell you is that it makes the connection between Point Pleasant and that whole Wheeling area, all that stuff. It makes a connection between them and the Cleveland and Pittsburgh mafias. They were definitely in there. They were definitely hiding guns. There was a meeting point to where they could do off stuff that they could get. You could get to right across the bridge from Ohio. You could move this. You could move that. It, dude, before 2003, when it became like you got to think about this. It just now became like 2003 is when it became the tourist destination that it is. Before that, they didn't even have a sign, dog. You didn't even know you was in Point. You had no idea, dude. This was until 2003. You had no idea what the fuck was going on there. And dude, they was doing some shit with some gambling machines. Dude, there was this Hare Krishna cult that was doing all kind of crazy shit, dude. It was fucking, there was laundering money, dude. It is fucking wild. But anyways, it is a key that makes me believe that the theory of the psyop is right. And that's not to say that you shouldn't enjoy the Mothman and all that. As a matter of fact, I think this whole story turned out great for Point Pleasant. I think at the end of the day, you know what I mean? They really turned a bad situation into something really great that everybody can can enjoy and be a part of, and like you have pride in the Mothman. You know what I'm saying? It's really kind of weird. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
On
But
that note, the last thing I want you to do for the people listening who know what Mothman is but don't know much about what you're talking about, I think a lot of people are following and sort of understanding what you're saying to some extent, which is like there's a big business there that has ties to weapons manufacturing, and there's about to be a strike. So the CIA and the mafia got involved to prevent that from happening because companies and the government want. But how does that connect to the Mothman specifically?
well, they were just doing all kind of crazy stuff with flying drones because they were making drones. These, I mean, drones have been around for a long time. So like unmanned
So what
vehicles.
basically what you're saying is they wanted these people on strike to sound insane, so they did
Yeah,
insane things to them
yeah,
to make them seem insane. And part of what you and others are basing that on is like, well, where'd we get that crazy idea from? How many times we've seen the CIA do it over
yeah,
the years?
dude.
It is
Yeah,
like
dude.
it's not in their top five, but it's got to be in their top 10 moves. To be like, hey, we got to discredit. I mean, dude, think about Martin Luther King Jr. was discredited. Well, he's a man whore, right? I mean, that
Yeah,
was like
right.
all those stuff about him having affairs, and I'm not saying he did or didn't have an affair, but like that was absolutely pushed by the FBI and the CIA to
Sure,
discredit him. And then
sure.
the couple you were talking about were
Betty
literally,
Berninger.
again, I can't stress this enough, literally abducted, made to believe it was aliens with
Yeah, dude.
drugs,
Yeah,
released so that they would sound crazy, so that to ruin their work.
yes.
It's like everyone says we learn all of our stuff from Israel and the Mossad now, but like no, they should learn from us. They need to stop
Oh,
killing people in broad daylight and just make them look nuts. Dave Chappelle had this big thing at the end of his special of like, "I'm not suicidal. If they ever kill me, you know, Israel did it." And it's like, yeah, or dude, they'll just like get you on tape with some getting some trans pussy, and then they're
yeah,
gonna
right.
make you crazy, dog.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like I'm not a
yeah,
huge fan of Dave Chappelle, but like I am worried that what's actually gonna happen is they're gonna microwave his brain, dude.
yeah.
And if Dave
Havana
Chappelle went
syndrome, his
totally
ass.
nuts,
Yeah,
no one would suspect a thing. Even his biggest fans would be like, "Yeah, I mean, he's been riding a line for a little while."
yeah, dog. They, of course. Yeah, dude, for sure, for sure, for
But one
sure.
thing that has come of all this that on like a weird positive thing, this is kind of a big transition, but it's fun for me. When I first started to kind of like be a little suspect of Dave Chappelle, one of the things that happened before even the trans stuff, or maybe at the same time, was like just shitting all over Anthony Bourdain,
Yeah,
basically calling him a pussy.
yeah,
Well, now there's like at least two of his personal friends who say he did not commit suicide. Now, I don't believe that, but I bet Dave Chappelle does. I
yeah,
bet Dave Chappelle reads that and is like, oh shit, they got Bourdain. Like, I think they're going to get me now. And that's a little fun for me that it's like, yeah, well, take it back.
yeah. It's really a double edged sword because, like, you see, with like Candace Owens and all these people. Yeah, you're crazy. You're crazy. But also, when you talk about stuff that's going on, everybody sounds crazy. So,
I've been trying to figure out how to do a bit about that. I mean, I think there are
like
people
you,
still right now, well-read fans who watch the news and think we're crazy right now when we have said nothing but some facts, a little bit of speculation in every part of this podcast. We
yeah.
made sure to say, well, this is what I'm speculating, but here's why. Here's where they literally did this, and we have them admitting it. It's just a hard time to be rational. It's a hard time to be
Oh, for
rational
sure, for sure.
because what
Why
feels
try?
rational is completely irrational according to our programming, according to our culture, according to
Right,
our social contracts.
right.
And those
That's
things are
exactly.
dissolving, and man, that's dark. On that note, a real quick plug. We're not ready to full on talk about it yet, but one of the things DJ and I am working about on and with Carmen, and if you're interested in this, you should listen to Gravy Baby. It's our podcast that we do with Carmen. It comes out every week on Fridays, and it's a fun time. We always call it Good Vibes for Trash People. Instead of toxic positivity, we practice positive toxicity. What you will find there is people trying to tell you, "Hey, we're not going to be, you know, I always get them confused. Toxically positive. We're not going to act like things are okay. We're going to be positively toxic and tell you to fucking man up and get over it.
Yeah.
And here, do something about it. And here's what we're doing about it. Money where our mouth is. DJ and I have a thing we're working on, and again, we're not ready to fully launch it or talk about it. That DJ and I have been working on for years. Carmen is now joining us, which is associated with mutual aid and kind of blending that with comedy and entertainment as best we can. And if you don't know what mutual aid is, I have a very easy way to explain it to people who are new to it. I think most of you right now know what's going on in Minnesota. I think most of you, if you're following what's going on in Minnesota, you're aware of the protests, you're aware of the lawyers, you're aware of the senators, some of whom are feckless, some of whom do seem to be trying to do something, but the Democratic Party seems to be feckless at this point. But you also are aware of, I alluded to it earlier, people who are doing their neighbor's laundry while they hide because ICE is hitting laundromats. I think you are also all aware of, I hope, people who are bringing their neighbors meals because they're hiding from ICE and ICE is going to the grocery stores. That is the type of action that gets loosely thrown under mutual aid. That is the kind of stuff that DJ and I have been into for a while, and Carmen as well, and we're trying to bring people who've been doing work like that. Our buddy Warren, there's an interview with our friend Warren Tidwell on Gravy Baby. You can go listen to it right now, where he talks about some of his organizations and how they've helped in storm disasters. When FEMA leaves, but people still ain't in their houses yet, who's going to step up? Well, the community. That's mutual aid. It's called mutual aid because it's not charity. You're not doing it to like do charity. You're doing it because you're a part of a community and one day you're going to need it. And that's the other thing people need to understand. We're all going to need each other going forward for Trump's fifth term.
Yeah,
Fifth term.
yeah, for sure. I agree, and I'm happy. I'm happy that. Yeah, so hit us up if you have a mutual aid thing. Hit us up if you know
Yeah.
anybody that that is involved. We'd like to talk to you. We'd like to work with you. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
We'd like to platform you. We'd like
We like to plant.
to let people know what you do, why you do it, and
Yeah,
how you
we'd like to
help
bring you.
people. And I'll be honest, that's all we want to know.
Yeah, that's it.
We don't, it's like we just want the recipe. We don't need the backstory. I'm kidding. You can tell us the backstory.
Yeah, the backstory's good.
Yeah, backstory's
Uh,
great. I was just trying to be funny. It didn't work.
yeah, no, it's great. I thought you were. You killed it for me.
Damn
I
it.
like a.
You didn't like Mothman Scophacy, and I had that in the hopper for like 12 minutes. I was like, damn, DJ's a real Mothman denier. He scoffs at the Mothman. It's almost
Mothman
like a
truther.
Scophacy.
The truth. I'm not denying. What I deny is that it's always been a worse story than Flatwoods. I've never understood how Mothman got more got more credit than than the Flatwoods Monster because the Flatwoods Monster
Better
to me,
PR, dude. He had the CIA working for him.
right? That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you go. I've got a show with Corey in Athens, Georgia on February 15th at the tail end of Heathen's Homecoming. I think DJ's going to maybe be in town. I'm going to beg him to do it, and he's going to say no. Listen to Gravy Baby and look around you for mutual aid groups and go to one of their meetings and
Yeah, just
figure out
you
what
don't
you
have
can
to
do to help
start.
your neighbors.
Everybody wants to know like how do I start mutual aid, bruh? There's somebody around you who needs help, man. They would
Yep.
love to have your help.
Yep,
That's
and
already
just
doing
start
it.
helping people around
Just
you.
start
I
helping
mean,
people, dog.
you can keep keyboard warrioring, and I'm not telling you not to, but like start helping the people around you. Uh, because it's a harrowing thought to think, why is no one stopping this in Minnesota? It's harrowing. I don't know why, but they're not going to.
Yes.
And you can do something about that. And I voiced this on here once or twice, maybe more than that. I voiced it on our podcast a lot, like the helplessness anyone with a soul and eyes felt during the whole Gaza conflict. It's not over. I don't know why I said it like that. But when it was in the news more, um, this feels similar, except that you can do so. Now, it's not what you want. A lot of us want to just like vote the right way and then someone with some power do something, but that may not happen. But what you can do is help your neighbors. That's all I'm saying. Help your neighbors.
Yeah, man.
All right, DJ. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, bud.